Good morning, citizens, and welcome back to the verse. This is a short series that I'm doing. I am only going to be recording these videos in this series until the end of the month, so only about 2 weeks more, and then they'll be done. After that, I will not be recording anymore. The reason why, and if you've already seen this, do not think that you are watching the same video again. Is that I'm putting a little bit of a disclaimer at the beginning of the video, just kind of letting people know what these videos are out. These are a series that I'm recording during the Survive or Die, or Supply or Die, I almost said Survive or Die, playthrough of me just going and getting the resources non-compatitively. So if I'm going to be doing something like mining or salvage, I'm not going to be doing the debt chain. And as I do them, I just talk about different things that are happening in the verse, whether that is kind of the hot topics or the topics I don't really bring up or really have any place to put in any other videos. So going through these, if you have anything that you want to add to these videos, if you have anything that you want to say about what I talk about, any points that you want to make one way or the other that I could read and maybe respond to, as well as maybe talk about in a future video, or if there's any topic that you would like me to talk about. These are the times for me just to kind of chit-chat about one subject each time that I'm going out and getting some supply. So each mining run, each salvage run, I'm trying to keep these videos about 20 minutes maximum. They might be a few minutes longer than that, but they're going to keep it around that length. So without further ado, let's get into this current episode of Supply or Die, mining and salvage runs. I have to say, the music, well, flying through space, whoever did the musical design here did a pretty amazing job. Now, we're having an issue here with the map not working correctly, but we're going to try to find a way down to the surface a little bit quicker. And staying... Oh, arid reach. Let's go there. Staying within the sun. We're going to head down. I want to talk about something new this episode. This time, it's going to be about where I am right now. Not necessarily Monox, but Pyro in general. Pyro, the lawless system, and piracy in the game. Because when Pyro was first coming out, there was a lot of people upset because I don't want... Alright, well, I'm just going to fly this way. Hopefully I get far enough away. And there's a good example. There is a pirate or a criminal. Although that one was NPC, which is why I don't mind just flying away and hoping they don't see me. Because I can tell it's got a space in his name, and we can't put spaces in our names. But that's the topic for today. Is Pyro a gank fest, and all CIG really wants is bloodshed? Which is something that I see on Spectrum quite a bit. And it's partly true in some accounts. When Pyro first came out, that was the thought, that it's just catering more to combat, and that's all this is more combat and more for the people that like combat. And when Pyro first came out, absolutely that was the case. It was good luck being anywhere near checkpoint or ruin. And if you even look at some of the interviews with some of the developers, and even Lando has said in some Inside Star Citizens that there are developers that all they want is bloodshed. It is a fact that that is a part of the game and always will be. Ooh, there we go. We got something right here in front of us already. There's also still, to this day, a huge mindset for some players that lawless means there's no rules There's also the idea that Rep will fix this, and potentially, oh, what is this? What is this? Quasi-grazers? Oh no, that's actually rocks. Okay. God, those are probably quasis. Yeah. Okay. Rep might fix some of this. There you go. Put my shields on just in case. Rep might fix some of this, but it's like it'll fix like players sneaking into groups, joining up with a party, and then backstabbing someone. But the idea that the player base will control the law. There we go. We got copper there. Copper there. Copper there. Yeah, see? Go to Monox for copper. Copper all over the place. Copper. Alright, I'm going to start choosing a rock that's relatively high in copper. That one says impossible. Let's start with this little one here. What was I talking about? Yeah, okay, so the player base is never going to be the police force. There's never going to be a point where the players will keep criminals in check. And the reason for that is it's always easier to be the aggressor. And in the cases where someone wants to be the aggressor and they want to, and I'm going to put this in quote, pirate, they're always going to go after the smaller ships. And so you can't expect other players to come to the defense of a smaller ship. There's got to be something else in place. And the idea that that is rep is good, but it's nowhere near being planned, much less being implemented. So currently, there we go. Currently, that's not going to work. Pyro didn't really make Stanton safer. It worked for the first few weeks, for sure, but then players started to mitigate back towards Stanton to pirate. Seraphim Station's usually a pretty bad one. So is Everest Harbor, I find, a lot. Those are some of the worst locations. I still find none of these are 100%. I'm going to try to find some 100% coppers if possible. So I'll just keep cracking these. Like, these are all like 30%. You know what? There's so much copper in this place. I think maybe it is the fact that this is mixed with Terranite and gold. I'm going to keep going. I mean, I could grab that copper. This could be a pretty quick one, but we're gonna try some of these other rocks around here, see if we can find a better copper rock to mine, since there is a lot of copper on this planet. I mentioned in an earlier video that I am an advocate for PvE, but I at the same time still think that piracy is a huge part of the game and still needs to exist. But CAG really does need to make being a pirate a lot harder. That was, as far as I know, the plan. Is this like a Hadanite or something? What is this? Dolivine. There's two ways to do that. One is getting a working rep system with the rep at least tied to each system, making clearing rep a lot harder. That would go away to doing that. Making a system that is designed for crime, like Pyro, have a system like a well, I can't think of the word. A prison with like an escape route in it. But the one that's currently in Stanton, where the escape route is very quick and easy to get to, once you know the route, Um, doesn't really make sense. All right, I'm gonna. This again is not a rock. Oh, but there we go. We got 9.5. That one there will be some rocks to go to, so we're gonna head towards that one. What was I saying? This is why I might have to do voiceovers instead of mine. If you don't want, and people would say, well, Pyro's a lawless system, so why would we have prisons? But lawless, like I said, doesn't mean no rules. We have things like the headhunters. They're not going to like you if you're doing stuff for citizens' prosperity, or vice versa. Now, I've lived quartzite. I've lived in some of the lesser friendly neighborhoods. I can say for a fact that there are certain groups in those neighborhoods that made the rules, so they might really not recognize the law. And it was well known that those groups basically thought of themselves as not only making the rules, but protecting. Are you scanning? There we go. Festistain. Festistain? I can never say that right. If you brought cops around, they would be pretty upset, and they would let you know that, you know, everything's cool until you bring the cops around. If you do stuff that's going to make the cops upset, now they never definitely said that to me, but they would say that to a lot of the kids that caused issues in the neighborhood. They would let the kids know, under no uncertain terms, their rules were maybe not as understanding as other rules. Okay, this doesn't look like a good area, so we're going to keep looking. And I think of Pyro the same way. I think of Pyro as, you know, if you cause issues, the gangs there aren't going to be as happy. And that's the way it should be. It's not lawless in the same sense. It's just, it's not UEE. It's different laws. I think that and rep, again, will go a long way. It should be hard. Oh, look at, these are all rocks here. Perfect. It should be hard to be a criminal. And CIG needs to make it harder. It should be more fun, but it should be harder. Okay, what is this? Atacamite. I don't even know what that is. What is this? Let's scan these. As far as the topic of piracy itself, it needs to kind of go both ways. Pirates need to have a code. So if you're a leave no survivors type, which is fine, the rep needs to show that. And you should be hunted to the ends of a system. Agresium, okay. If you get caught and do your time, that rep should still stay. If you steal but leave people alive and let them kind of limp home, lesser sentences, lesser hits to rep should apply. That would make sense. But it does need to exist. If I fly around a moon with my prospector, I should feel relatively safe, like I'm doing right now. If I sold in a vulture, I should be able to do that, you know, without a great deal of fear. I should be able to do that. If I have a reclaimer or an Orion or a fully loaded Hull D, I should be aware that I'm now a target, and the rep hit for piracy, if you're caught in a system like Stanton, should be so huge that it's not worth it to go after a small target like a prospector or a vulture. But maybe something large, something that's going to be a big score, should be enticing enough to risk that. With rep, there'll be more of the argument, which currently is not an argument that you should be able to make on Spectrum, which is higher escorts. If there's no way to know what kind of person somebody is in game, if there's no rep system to say this person here has a good rating for being helpful or for being protective, then there's no reason to hire escorts. There should be no reason to even say that that should be an option. Right now, the only escorts anyone hires is org members or friends. Right now, everyone else that is not someone you personally know or have played with before is a potential enemy. So I'll leave my talk about piracy with this. It sucks, and with the current setup, a pirate risks little for what may have been hours of work for someone else, and if they fail, they don't really tend to lose much and can get back into it. With item recovery, that's going to be even more to the case. But a player verse without piracy at all is a pretty empty one. So it's good that it's here to stay. There's always a ways to avoid piracy. And if possible, you should only risk, what you can afford to risk. But it's never going to be something to be completely safe. Any CIG developer watching this, I know the focus on pretty much every single game loop currently involves combat. Even racing ships I've seen have guns. But giving players... Oh, there's some rocks right up ahead there. That's good. Giving players a safe place within the game. Instance dungeons, like the ones that we're seeing, I believe, in CitizenCon. They were showing like the Area 18 kind of sewers would go a long way for both pirates and PvE players, because you would have the access to go to a place like that. It would still be there, but there would also be the danger, but only when you were putting yourself in that danger. So giving the option to do both, I think, would be really good. There we go. We got copper. That one is impossible, though. Copper and barrel. So this one says it's hard. Let's break this one and see if barrel tends to separate from copper. So we're going to break this. We're going to see what it's like. And then I think I'm just going to scoop up as much copper as I can from here. And from there, we're going to go back to the refinery and see how well I did. But no need to watch me break this. This one's already at 15 minutes. I'm trying to keep these around 20 minutes or less. This is only a medium difficulty, eh? I should really get some gadgets. That way I can do some of the impossible rocks. I haven't used gadgets in a super long time. Here we go. Just starting to touch into this optimal zone. Beautiful. Okay, now I'm assuming all these rocks are still going to be too big, so let's... Oh, there we go. 100% copper, that's what I'm looking for. Alright, so we're going to just break these apart, start scooping them up, but I'm going to leave you here. I'll join you again once I'm in the refinery, and we'll see how much copper I was able to get from this area here. But it's good to know that these ones, that secondary metal tends to clump up, so we're able to get some 100% copper here. That's exactly what I was looking for. So I will join you back at the Stanton Gateway. I keep almost saying Pyro Gateway, but Stanton Gateway it is. A resounding success. I just realized I can't see. There we go. Just making sure I could see OBS to make sure that it was working. We got ourselves a full prospector. Look at this. So Monarchs, obviously the way to go. So it's been about 2 hours. and I've done those 2 runs. The one that I sold with the gold, and then this one here, which is copper. Look at that, 32 SU, which when I give it the old Dinix treatment will get me 25 SU of copper, which is not bad. It's also going to take a day. All my full jobs look like they're taking about a day to do, which I'm fine with Dinix because it's nice and slow, and really I'm just building up collections of jobs here. So if I actually, here, hold on, let me get back in there. So if I look at this, we're going to have about 45, close to 50 SU of copper so far. So copper and corundum. So I'm going to have to just do a quick research. I know that there's a moon. Well, the map's working again. That's good. Around Pyro. I can't remember which one it is. But if I look here, that's a cluster. That's not what I was looking for. Adair or Vatra, I think, has corundum. I think. I'm going to have to look into that, figure out which one is where I'm going to go next, and do a little bit of corundum mining. The corundum and copper pays less than the tin and ice, but unlike my last time, so when I lost those refinery jobs due to the stuck cargo grid, I lost about 100 tin and about 80 ice, which is kind of painful. So we're going to go with we're going to go with copper and corundum because those do seem to be easier to find. And I don't care that it pays less. I just want to try to get a little bit of the rep for doing that. I'm also thinking that the vulture is a pretty good way to go because you are able to do the scraping of the panels. It'd be easier to take the salvage jobs in order to get the recycled material. Is that the ones that come from disintegration of the hull? Potentially. But that will be something that I might do kind of on my own, is try to do a recycling one to see. Is there salvage jobs here? No, see, because I'm at the station. So I'd have to go near a planet, and maybe there's salvage jobs there. But I think I'm going to do some research, find out what planet to go to for corundum, and I'm going to try that, or maybe one of the clusters that are near to Pyro. So looking here. So where are places that you think I should check out? Bearing in mind that I'm keeping myself based around the Stanton Gateway here, but these clusters here, can I reach those and back? No, I need a ship for routing. I'm not currently in my prospector. Maybe. We'll see. Next episode, we will be at a new location doing a bit more mining again. And I haven't decided what I'm going to talk about next, but like I said before, these are just kind of me talking about the more hot topics in the verse. I could just talk about how beautiful it looks and how much I enjoy mining, or how much I just love traveling around and seeing the place, or some of the delivery missions, or even mining itself, which I really do enjoy. But that's not what the series is about. This is me talking about the stuff that maybe is a little bit more polarizing, and some of the stuff that is really polarizing that I really normally don't even consider, since it's not really part of my playstyle. If there's something you want me to talk about, let me know in the comments, and hopefully I will get to it. Until next time, thank you so much for your support, thank you so much for watching, and have an awesome day, everybody. I hope to see you all soon in the verse. Goodbye.